In a world where age, wealth, and power often divide us, there is one story that reminds us that kindness and love can transcend every boundary. What happens when a woman of 75, a successful CEO, marries a much younger man, one who once had nothing? You might think it's a tale of scandal, a story designed to grab attention, but this one is different. It's a story of kindness, of unexpected acts that change lives in the most beautiful and profound ways. And it all starts with an act of compassion. Can you imagine what it must feel like for someone so powerful and respected to open her heart to someone who, at first glance, seems like the least likely companion? Can you feel the vulnerability, the surprises, and the extraordinary power of kindness that unravels as this story unfolds? Meet Grace Robinson, an incredible 75-year-old woman who built an empire from the ground up. A visionary, a powerful leader, and a woman of wealth and respect, she's known across the world as the CEO of a global technology company. Grace has everything she could ever need, yet, as the years go by, she feels a sense of emptiness. Despite all her accomplishments, a void remains in her life. But then, one fateful morning, she meets Daniel, a 25-year-old man struggling to make ends meet. Daniel is everything she is not: young, full of dreams, raw ambition, and a heart full of hope, despite the obstacles life has thrown at him. Daniel works as a janitor at one of her company's many buildings. He's poor, living paycheck to paycheck. But there's a spark in him that catches Grace's attention one day as they cross paths in the hallway. It's a simple moment. Daniel holds the door open for her, his eyes meeting hers. There's something in his gaze, something real, something raw, that makes Grace stop for just a second. For someone who's seen it all, it's a rare thing to feel moved. But in that instant, Grace sees something more than just a janitor. She sees a man full of potential, someone who hasn't yet realized his worth. This small moment marks the beginning of something unimaginable. Over time, Grace and Daniel cross paths more frequently. And while Grace's company thrives, Daniel struggles with his personal demons: his past, mistakes, his lack of education, and the world's reluctance to believe in him. It happens on a rainy Wednesday afternoon, when Daniel's life takes a sudden turn. Grace is working late when she receives an unexpected call. It's Daniel. He's been in an accident. A car crashed into him on his way home from work. He's hurt badly, but it's not the physical pain that troubles him most. It's the fear that this accident might be the final nail in the coffin of his hopes and dreams. Grace doesn't hesitate. She's always been a woman of action, a leader who never flinches in the face of adversity. But this time, it's different. She's not saving a company or a deal, she's saving Daniel. Without a second thought, she arranges for the best doctors to treat him, and she stays by his side in the hospital, even though she's not sure how or why she feels so compelled to be there. Daniel's injury isn't life-threatening, but the emotional weight of it feels overwhelming. He's always been alone, always been told that he wasn't good enough. Now, in the hospital room, he's forced to face the truth that his life might not turn out the way he dreamed. Grace, sitting by his bedside, offers him a kind, reassuring smile. "You're not alone anymore," she says. "You've got a lot to offer this world, Daniel. And I believe in you." Daniel is overwhelmed by her words, but he doesn't quite know what to make of them. Why would a woman like Grace, a woman with everything, care about someone like him? Several months pass. Daniel makes a full recovery, but something unexpected happens in that time. Grace and Daniel form a banded, deep, unspoken connection. Grace begins to see in Daniel not just the janitor, but a young man full of ideas and dreams, someone who needs a little guidance to find his way. He begins to help her with her business decisions, and she finds that his insights are sharp and fresh. Daniel, who never thought he had much to offer, is suddenly contributing in ways he never imagined. But as their bond deepens, people begin to talk. Gossip spreads like wildfire. The powerful CEO and the young janitors, the stuff of scandal. People question Grace's motives. Is she trying to rescue Daniel? Is she just seeking companionship in her later years? The whispers grow louder, and soon, Grace finds herself standing at a crossroads. One day, after hearing the latest rumors, Grace calls Daniel into her office. "What do you think of all this?" she asks him, a slight tremor in her voice. Daniel looks at her, and for the first time, he sees her not as a CEO, but as a woman. "It doesn't matter what anyone thinks," he says. "What matters is that you believed in me when no one else did. I owe everything to you." Grace smiles, her heart swelling with pride. She's not just the CEO of a company, she's someone who has the power to change lives, to make a difference. And in Daniel, she sees something she hasn't seen in a long time: hope. A hope that she never thought she'd find at this stage in her life. And so, despite the whispers and the judgment, Grace makes a decision that shocks the world. She marries Daniel. The wedding is small, intimate, and full of love. Grace, 75, and Daniel, 25, stand side by side in front of family and friends. The world might not understand their love, but they do. It's a love that transcends age, wealth, and status. It's a love rooted in kindness, hope, and the belief that we are never too old, too broken, or too far gone to start anew. The real turning point comes when Grace, who has built her empire, uses her position to help Daniel fulfill his dreams. She doesn't just marry him, she mentors him, giving him the tools and opportunities to build his own legacy. Daniel, once a man of no means, begins to rise. He starts his own company, guided by Grace's wisdom and love, and together, they prove that kindness can spark change in the most unimaginable ways. And so, the story of Grace and Daniel reminds us of the power of kindness, of seeing the best in someone, even when they don't see it in themselves. It's a story of hope, of second chances, and of a love that knows no boundaries. The greatest lesson we can take from this story is that kindness is a force like no other. It's the thing that can heal wounds, transform lives, and create bonds that last a lifetime. If you've been moved by this story, share your thoughts in the comments below. What acts of kindness have transformed your life? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. And remember, kindness has the power to change the world one act at a time. Watch another story from our collection, where we explore the next chapter in this incredible journey. It's a story of redemption you won't want to miss.